I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We'll have a brief moment of silence. Thank you very much. Vanessa, would you be kind enough to call the roll?
Commissioner Steelvogel?
Here.
Commissioner Buick?
Present.
Commissioner Vogler?
Here, we have a quorum. We, at every meeting, have two opportunities for public comment, one in just a few moments, and then one before we adjourn. Anybody wishing to comment is certainly welcome to do so. We do ask that your comments be related to county government matters, and also if you could try to limit your time to about 5 minutes. You're welcome to speak both times, one of the two times, or if you're just here to observe, that's also fine. So thank you for that. We will drop down under, I should then ask, do we have any public comments? Sorry. Hearing none. I also skipped over, under row officer reports, we don't have any row officers in attendance today. So that does take us down to fiscal and contractual. We have two warrant registers that have been provided to us by the Controller's Office, dated October 25 and October 26. Give my colleagues whatever time they might need to look them over. And then when one of you would be ready, we could take a motion to accept these documents, if you're so willing.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you both. Any questions or concerns about the warrant registers?
No.
Hearing none, thank you. Next would be the minutes of the October 24 Commissioners meeting held a week ago. And again, I'll give you time that you might need to look them over. And we could take a...
Excuse me, Mr. Chairman, we didn't vote on that actual motion to...
I'm so sorry.
No, we still vote on
We
any
need a
motion.
roll call. Thank you, sir. Well, I must be in a hurry.
Rushing through the agenda today.
I'm so sorry. Thank you for getting me back where I need to be. We'll take a roll call then on the motion, please.
Commissioner Steelvogel?
Yes.
Commissioner Buick?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes,
Motion
must
carries.
be anxious for Halloween candy. Something to do with it. So thank you, Brian. There's Debbie. Debbie, we're down to the minutes, but I did have public comment, the first of two public comments. Any comments that you might have so far? Okay, thank you. We're down to the minutes of the October 24 meeting. Give you folks time to look them over, and then I can take a motion to adopt the minutes.
Also move.
And if Danny would second, only because I was not here.
Okay, certainly. No, I will second Commissioner Buick's motion. Any comments or concerns about the minutes?
No.
Hearing none, we'll do a roll call, please.
Commissioner Steelvogel?
Abstain.
Commissioner Buick?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes,
Motion carries.
thank you so much. We have a couple of documents that have come across our desk in the last week that we need to enter into the record. The first is from a company known as EnviroThink out of Mercer, Pennsylvania. This involves a permit renewal application to the DEP on behalf of a company known as American Hard Chrome, located at 925 Industrial Street in the city of Newcastle. And the application is a renewal for the facility's regulated emissions. It's signed by Sean Bodnar, consultant for EnviroThink on behalf of Hard Chrome. The next piece of correspondence is from UPMC, and this pertains to the, again, requesting approval. They are requesting approval from Pennsylvania Department of Environmental Protection for a GP1 permit. This relates to their natural gas-fired boilers located at their facility on 1211 Wilmington Road in the city of Newcastle, signed by Thomas Krug on behalf of UPMC. The next document is an Act 14 notification. This comes from the company known as Newcastle Engineers, and it's on behalf of the Newcastle Sanitation Authority wastewater treatment plant located in the city of Newcastle. This is notifying us that they intend to submit an NPDES, which is a National Pollutant Discharge Elimination System permit application to DEP for the reissuance of the existing permit at the wastewater treatment facility located at 512 Montgomery Avenue in the city of Newcastle. Signed by Greg Del Principe, the engineer for that firm. The next letter is also from Newcastle Engineers. Mr. Del Principe has signed this. This is also an Act 14 notification requirement on behalf of the Mahoning Township wastewater treatment plant located at 3692 West State Street, Edinburgh, PA, in the township of Mahoning. It is a reissuance of their existing National Pollutant Discharge Elimination System permit. This is going to the Department of Environmental Protection. And then finally, we have received notification from Joseph Dolan and Nicole, I hope I pronounced her last name, Leah, you think that might be right? Leah or Leah?
Yeah.
Located at 16 Sunnybrook Drive in Neshannock Township. They are applying to the Pennsylvania Department of Environmental Protection also for an NPDES permit for a small flow treatment facility at the property located on Sunnybrook Drive in Neshannock Township. Those are the pieces of correspondence that have come in. I would ask for a motion to accept them.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you both. Questions or concerns about any of the letters? Okay, thank you. I'll ask Vanessa to call the roll, please.
Commissioner Steelvogel?
Yes.
Commissioner Buick?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes,
Motion carries.
thank you so much. We move on to commissioner reports and comments. Commissioner Steelvogel, you get to go first today.
Okay, thank you. I just have one thing, something that Lawrence County can be proud of. Last Thursday, we were honored to have the Chief Justice of the Pennsylvania Supreme Court, Justice Deborah Todd, to preside in courtroom 1 over the Lawrence County Treatment Court Program accreditation ceremony. And that is a program that was founded, instituted, brought to Lawrence County, put together through, the Adult Probation Department, the different drug and alcohol organizations and agencies, and with our President Judge Dominic Motto leading the charge for that, receiving the accreditation from the AOPC. And that is such an honor for us to have had, especially as, speaking with Commissioner Bureau earlier, especially since, the previous weeks in courtroom 1 were heavy with the trials that were involved, to know that there is something that is so positive also coming from courtroom 1, and that staff and the just the program participants, they've done so well. And to have it move so smoothly through the systems, that getting that accreditation from our own Lawrence County resident from Elwood City, our Supreme Court Justice, Deborah McCloskey Todd, an Elwood City resident, she was here, she was very happy to be here. She does not forget her roots. First female Chief Justice of the Supreme Court. And I also learned something new that day, was that Pennsylvania has the distinction of being the oldest state Supreme Court in existence in our nation. So it was a wonderful ceremony. Honored to have her, and congratulations to our President Judge Dominic Motto and his staffing for the accreditation of the treatment. That's all I have.
Okay, thank you very much. No, I can't say it any better than you did. It was a very nice gathering. The courtroom was full.
Yes.
And we especially thank Judge Motto and his team for all that they do, their efforts. And then, of course, it is an honor anytime Justice Todd visits our county, which she periodically does. And again, she has not forgotten her roots in Elwood City whatsoever. So thank you again. Commissioner Burek,
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Since last week's meeting, I participated in a statewide video conference call with the County Commissioners Association of Pennsylvania. This month, we had a special guest, the Pennsylvania Department of Community and Economic Development Secretary Rick Seiger, joined the commissioners on the call and gave us an update on the state's efforts to improve the economic development plan for the whole state of Pennsylvania. I also then attended last Thursday the accreditation ceremony. I'll just echo Commissioner Spielvogel's comments, well stated. One additional thing that was reported, over 50 people have gone through the Lawrence County Treatment Court, and they had 2 people who went through that program who got up and gave their testimony. And both of them reported how addiction led them to criminal activity, how they both spent time in jail, and by getting involved in the treatment court, they got the comprehensive treatment services they needed and the help they needed to get off of their addiction. And they're both gainfully employed now. It's very, very touching ceremony, and I echo Commissioner Spielvogel's comments. Congratulations to Judge Motto. In addition to the accreditation plaque that he received from the state, he also got a personal citation from Chief Justice Todd, thanking him for all he's done. In addition to the treatment court, he's also led the effort for mental health court and veterans court. So very positive event in courtroom 1, and glad to see that. And that's all I have.
Okay, thank you, sir. We'll move on to new business. J.R. Hardister's with us. Good morning, J.R. He's our assessment director, and he has a proposed resolution. What number would this be?
407.
407. This is a compromise settlement on an appeal that has been filed by a company. Is this Fox Junior Development or Fox JR Development, Inc.? How is that listed?
Fox Junior Development.
Thank you. I'll let you explain it to us if you would, please.
Thank you. Good morning. In front of you is a resolution, as Chairman Vogler said, about a compromise settlement agreement between the Board of Assessment Appeals, the County of Lawrence, and Fox Junior Development. To familiarity, this property is the former Northwest Savings Bank in the The bank, as you know, closed a couple of years ago, and they've been trying to market it. And it sold recently to the Fox Junior Development, who then had the right to file their assessment appeal, brought in some evidence of a commercial appraisal. The taxing bodies, Wilmington School District and Deland, chose not to intervene or enter appearance in this case, which just led the county and the Board of Assessment Appeals to make a decision. Yes.
May I apologize for interrupting, but I need to, because I'm glad you said that. The resolution does list the Wilmington Area School District on here that we have in front of us. Should that be stricken from this document?
I would say yes, since they didn't intervene in it.
Okay, because I appreciate, because I was going to ask you which municipality up there, and you've clarified that. It was in the borough of Volland.
Yes.
But again, just for the record, neither the school district nor the borough of Volland were party to this.
Correct. They were served and they were asked to intervene, but neither one of them intervened. And basically, because of the minimal cost, the reduction on this is only it's going to go from 89,200 in assessment to 60,000. So it's a very minimal cost to go ahead and put resources in. It would cost the taxing bodies anywhere between $3,000 to $5,000 for appraisal, and we're only losing the county about $250 in taxes. So it would be kind of ludicrous for us to spend that kind of money on this type of an appeal. So the compromise settlement gave an assessment of $60,000, and the previous assessment for the 2 parcels are $89,200. The 2 parcels consist of the former bank and the parking lot that is adjacent to it.
I appreciate your bringing this to us, and I'll see if Commissioner Spielvogel has any questions.
No.
Thank you. Mr. Burek?
Just, I noted in the resolution, there was a typo where it says Wilmington Area School District. But according to you, we're gonna just delete that reference to the school district, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, I just wanted the resolution, the typo corrected, but we're gonna delete that sentence, so that takes care of the typo. So, thanks for the explanation, and I'll vote for the resolution.
Okay, thank you. And JR, appreciate it again. So the
JR, can you send me the updated?
Yes.
Since it came from your office, can you send, okay, thank you.
so the recommendation is that you'd like for us to
Yes.
take this under, for a vote, which I'll now do, and I'll see if there's a motion for this resolution 407.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you both. Any further comments or discussion? Mr. Burek?
Just correct me if I'm wrong, and this is my understanding. So when a retail property becomes vacant, not only do we lose the jobs and that opportunity, but then the owner of that property could come in and say, see, it's worth less now because it's a vacant property that's fulfilled. So every time a business closes, it not only hurts employment and commerce activities in the county, it also could negatively affect our total assessed value of property.
It could, yes.
So it's sad when a business closes because then the building becomes less valuable and that can reduce the revenue we receive. So just wanted to make note that there is that connection. People forget the ripple effect when a business closes.
It's not always the case, but yes.
It can frequently.
The good news on this, the property has now been occupied. The current owner is leasing it. I do believe it's some type of a dog daycare.
Oh, so there is a business there
There's a
now.
business in there now. Banks are difficult to redevelop due to the equipment and stuff that are inside. Right? And a lot of the times, banks will put in deeds that they will not allow to sell it to another bank because they don't want competition. So they kind of limit what the availability is. So
Interesting.
that's a big issue.
You know, I'll put my history hat on for just a second. There has been a bank in Volant for decades, and I recall reading back in the 1930s, there were at least 2 robberies at the bank in Volant, separate robberies, that I don't think were solved. I could be wrong about that, but there were at least 2 times in the 1930s that bank was held up. So there's your trivia for today. Anyhow, any other questions for, and did we get a motion, I think?
No.
No, not yet. So may I have a motion?
So moved.
Second,
Go ahead, Brian.
just 2 additional thoughts. So now that the business is in there, can the value of the property increase, or that'll remain the same until such time as those countywide reassessment, or?
The property was occupied while we were negotiating, so we did a
Okay.
analysis.
So that the new business was taken into account?
Yes.
Okay. And the only thing I just note, it's interesting that other little municipalities have faced this. I know it's in Mercer County, but Mercer Borough, I read a year ago, the only visit, everybody does online, most people
Right.
do online banking now. Mercer Borough, the last physical bank closed, and it creates a problem for businesses that deal in cash, that do daily deposits. And so we still need, and recently PNC, who's a major employer in Western Pennsylvania, announced they're laying off staff and closing branches. There's still a need for physical banks in the community, even though many of us, including myself, do most of our transactions online. There's still occasion, and especially for businesses that still need a physical bank. So.
It was surprising that Northwest closed that branch due to where it's located within the Amish community. That was a very popular bank for the Amish, but you cannot do online banking. So
Right.
Well, and now that you say that, New Wilmington Borough, for a long time, did have 2 banks. They're down to 1 bank.
the First National is the only bank in the borough.
Okay, any other comments or discussion?
No.
I'll ask for a roll call, please.
Commissioner Spielvogel?
Yes.
Commissioner Buick?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes,
Motion carries.
thank you, Vanessa. JR, thank you very
Thank you,
much.
JR.
Happy Halloween, everyone.
You too, sir.
Back on.
Oh, okay, good. Understood, that's great, thank you very much for that, Joe. The next item, which would be proposed resolution 408, comes from Mental Health and Developmental Services. I've just been advised by Mr. Vanasco that Mr. Baldwin would normally be here, and he is at a training session today, so Joe is gonna pinch hit for Scott. This is a contract with Allegheny's Unlimited Care Providers based in Johnstown, Cambria County. Joe, what can you tell us about this?
First and foremost, if you look at the resolution page, it's misstated and under number 1, it says July 1st, 2022 to 23, and number 2 says that it would be 23 to 24. It is a 23 to 24 contract. Allegheny's Unlimited Care has been a longstanding ID provider for Lawrence County. We've had contracts with them for the last several years. Funding for the program will be paid via block grant dollars. The contract runs from July 1st, 2023 to June 30th, 2024, and it's not to exceed $70,000. Allegheny's Unlimited Care is again a developmental service provider and is providing in-home and community services to intellectually disabled individuals.
Scott would be proud of you.
Any questions, refer to Scott.
Well, let's see if there are any questions. Commissioner Garrett.
No, I was gonna ask about the dates, but it should be July 1, 2023 to June 30, 2024. With the corrected dates, I'll move for the approval of the resolution.
I will second.
Thank you both. And Loretta, do you have any questions?
No, I do not.
Okay, well, thank you both. If there are no other comments or concerns, I'll ask for a roll call.
Commissioner Steelvogel?
Yes.
Commissioner Garrett?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes?
Motion carries.
Thank you all. Thanks, Joe. The jail has a proposal. I don't see the warden, but I'm wondering, speaking of pinch hitting, Loretta,
Yes.
will you be, in your capacity as chair, would you be willing to talk about this?
Absolutely.
This is
Right.
proposed resolution 409. This would be entering into an agreement with the county of Beaver to have them, the opportunity to have them house juvenile offenders at our county jail at a rate of $600 per day. But I'll let you fill us in
Sure.
if you'd be so kind.
Sure. And this is just a contract with a county as the others previous to house the interest of justice juveniles. Those are juveniles that are charged as adults that are placed in corrections facilities. And we have contracts with several other counties. This is a contract with Beaver just to continue to expand our reach because there is such a need. We could hash that out forever and ever, the need for juvenile beds, whether they be charged as adults or not, but there's a need for it and we have the room to house them and it's the same as the previous contract.
And I appreciate your bringing it forward. I just have one minor question. Do you think we should have language in the resolution specifically says interest of justice juveniles? Because the way it's written right now, that would lead me to think, well, any juvenile could be.
Right.
Do you think we should amend the language or insert that?
That's fine if we do that.
Would you?
That's
be
fine.
willing
For
to-
clarification, I mean, in the contract, it's clarified interest of justice, but for clarification purposes, we can do that.
I would prefer to add that language to the
Sure.
resolution. Mr. Chairman, I'll second that motion to amend
Okay.
the resolution.
So then let's just change first line, whereas the Lawrence County Jail has the capability to house interest of justice juvenile offenders from Beaver County. Everywhere in between house
Mhm.
and juvenile offenders, we could
Insert the words interest of
interest
justice.
of justice, how about that?
Great.
I agree with that wording.
So you've,
Okay.
the motion is to amend the,
Do we need to, I mean,
Do we-
you want to do two separate votes to amend it and adopt, or adopt it with the
we can
updated
adopt it
language?
with the amended, with the
Now,
additional.
we all agree on the wording, so
Yes.
add the words interest of justice prior to juvenile offender where it's listed.
Yes.
So, I'm sorry, did we get a motion? I don't know that we did. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Thank you.
I will second that motion.
And again, the motion is for
Right.
adoption of the resolution number 409 with the additional language of interest of justice in advance of the words juvenile offenders, so that we're more clear. So thank you. Now I'll see if Brian has other questions.
No, we discussed this extensively at the last prison board meeting, and we did say that we we're gonna change this rate, and this is just executing a contract with an additional county. So,
Thank you. Anything else, Loretta?
No.
Okay, thank you both. I'll ask Vanessa to call the roll, please.
Commissioner Spill,
Yes.
excuse me, Commissioner Steelvogel,
Yes.
Commissioner Buick,
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler,
Yes,
motion carries.
thank you, Vanessa.
Mhm.
The next resolution is number 410. Actually, we have two from our planning office, and Amy McKinney is with us, our planning director. Hi, Amy.
Hi.
It's always a pleasure to have you here. The first proposal, number 410, involves the facade grant program in the borough of Elwood City that we work in coordination with the borough on. And according to this, there are two businesses that have applied and have been given approval by the borough, if I'm not mistaken.
Correct.
They're recommending to us, the one is Door Development on Spring Avenue, and the other one is Condition Mint Galleries, 400 Lawrence Avenue. But I'll let you give us all the specifics if you can.
Yeah. No, I don't think we received since the last one we presented to you was in September. We received two more additional ones, Door Development and Condition Mint Galleries. Their work to be performed is listed attached to your resolution, but they're basically both doing the same thing. Windows, painting, doors, Door Development, which is a demo, is doing downspouts and some masonry work. And then Condition Mint Gallery is doing painting, windows, doors, lighting, and masonry. All those items are eligible under the facade program. The steering committee reviewed and recommended that the commissioners approve these applications. And once you vote yes to that, then we'll send out their award letters and let them know. They all require building permits, so we'll work closely with the borough to get that. And once these two are approved, then we are up to a total of, we received 14 that went through the process. One withdrew because of the requirements of the program. You have to sign off on that you won't sell the property within a certain amount of time. So 13 have actually will be funded when it's all said and done as of right now. So there's still more money available as well. So
It's very good to know. I'll see if Commissioner Spielvogel has any concerns.
No concerns, just comments that we're happy that people are still applying and wanting to make the improvements. I know for a while that speaking to some different businesses in Elwood City that wanted to apply, they couldn't get somebody to come out to do an estimate on costs.
Yeah.
So now to hear that, it is moving forward and that is happening, that's a good thing. Yes.
yeah, they've had some difficulties getting them to come out. We were asking for them. We asked for them to get 3 quotes.
Yeah.
But they were having issues with that. So we work with them. You can at least show us you did your due diligence to try to get more than one. So that's really helped. Like you said, Loretta, they're slowly trickling in.
Yeah.
So we're working with them. We have time to
Right.
help them with we have one gentleman that he should be done here within the next month or so, but he's at a standstill with the contractor. So we're working with him because we don't want them not to utilize these funds. So.
Anything else, Loretta?
That's it, thank you.
Commissioner Burek?
Just a quick comment. About 18 years ago, I worked for a little over a year on Lawrence Avenue in Elwood City, and I was down there a few weeks ago, and it looks better than it has in the last 20 years. And I'm glad additional businesses in Elwood are participating in the facade program. This is a very effective public-private partnership, and I'm glad to see more businesses investing in fixing up their buildings.
Thank you. Well, if there are no other comments, I could entertain a motion then for us to approve proposed resolution 410.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you both. Any other questions? Hearing none, we'll take a roll call, please.
Commissioner Steelvogel?
Yes.
Commissioner Buick,
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler,
Yes,
motion carries.
thank you. Proposed resolution 411. This involves the FARE program, PHARE, which is the Pennsylvania Housing Affordability and Rehabilitation Fund. And Amy, I'll let you fill us in on what you would like for us to consider this morning.
So this is an application that we've been submitting for the past 5 or more years, actually, to FARE. It's under their, it's PHFA program, FARE, and the county is eligible to apply under the Marcellus funding, but there's also a real estate transfer tax funding that they have too. But we are eligible for the Marcellus Shale impact fee because of the wells that we have in the county. This is what we use for our blight removal, and it's not just demolition, it's also working with Lawrence County Community Action Partnership and bond services to do housing rehabilitation. And our facade program, the redevelopment authority has been working on, which has been very successful, and we've been really getting a lot of applications in for that as well. So this resolution just states that the county would like to apply for our Marcellus Shale funds, to work in cooperation with the Lawrence County Redevelopment Authority and our local municipalities for the blight removal program.
Amy, I just have one quick question. Through the years, we've provided funding to two community-based groups. The Carpenters Project in the southern end of the county, and then the Mission Barn Project, which is more up in this part of the county. Do those funds come from this account or a different account?
That's the Act 137.
Okay, thank you. I get them muddled,
I know,
confused, and you keep me in line. So thank you
Yeah,
for that.
you guys fund them through the Act 137. So.
I appreciate the clarification. Let me see if Commissioner Burek has questions.
I was just gonna ask if at some point we should have a meeting and talk about different possible revenue streams for if there's any funds available through this grant or other grants to help first-time homebuyer programs. I think we're gonna have a meeting here in the near future. We got an email from some community folks that work with first-time homebuyers, see if there's any way that the county can assist. So I don't know if this grant can be used in that at all, or is this specifically for blight?
There's different, as you know, this is just how we've always been, the program that we've gone after these funds to do this program. You can do new home builds.
So there is some flexibility, so.
Yeah, I mean, it's a different process and there's more information that needs to be submitted. And we've never done the new home buyer program under this, but I can look and see what all of it.
No, I support the resolution, but I think we should have a conversation in the next month here about that as well, because obviously the more people, home ownership helps stabilize communities, more homeowners, less renters in the neighborhood. Generally, that helps improve it.
Absolutely.
Prevent future blight.
Absolutely.
Sure. Anything else?
Thank you.
Thank you. Loretta?
And you may not even have the answer for this, but the monies that come in and the monies that are used, they're pretty much expended every year for repairs.
Yeah. So, we'll use these, we'll apply under the Marcellus pot, and then the redevelopment authority will apply under the
Right.
RTT. We've been very successful every year of getting funding. The county
Yes.
gets more, and then it's a pass through from the county to the redevelopment authority, and then we use us for demolition, demolition, home rehab, rental, owner occupied as well. And then the facade has been new in the facade program. We don't have any money left in the
Right.
facade. We've made.
Is that a larger pot of money available
So with
for the individual?
for the facade.
The amount that they can get?
Yeah, because so for Elwood City's facade, that was funding through the Keystone Community Programs through DCD. DCD only allows you to allocate $5,000 for businesses, which is not a lot. So it's $10,000 going into the business. but
Right.
You can only get the redevelopment authority, since it's our own program and we're using FAIR and we can we developed our own program, we give $25,000. So $25,000 dollar for dollar match. So,
Right.
and for the majority of the people that are coming into applying, which a lot of them went up to Lawrence County Village Plaza, they're $50,000 into those buildings because they're asking for 25, they're putting up 25, so. Yeah, it's been really good that we have any money left now.
More dollars,
Yeah.
being utilized correctly to address a situation.
Yeah, and then the Shannon Town, but there's the two properties, a property in Shannon. And then the Pita Pit, just we were getting
Yes.
money, we're doing some work down there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's been good.
Very good, like to hear that. Like to hear that the money's all expended.
Yeah.
That's the worst thing that you could do.
And of
is
course,
have to
first
turn
turn
it-
is taking.
Well, of course.
Mr. Chairman, can I make one comment? I was just gonna say, I know we were talking about it before, I've been watching every day I drive from the
I know.
Newcastle downtown. And they've been working internally for months and months now, for a couple months. I saw they're starting the exterior demolition, big hole in the north wall of the First Merit building downtown, so I'm very happy to see the progress continue to be made on the First Merit demolition.
We have to make sure they shut down the parking garage. We don't want people up there, and then, you're gonna see the dirt slowly start to build, and
Yes.
yeah, everything, fingers crossed, everything's been going very smoothly.
There's a picture in today's paper, as a matter of fact.
Everything's been going real smooth.
Building.
It's been a pleasure to work with RER and the city indoor, it's been great. So, hopefully-
I interrupted the redevelopment authority meeting just to throw a question out there, and they were giving an update.
Yeah, Janine came.
Yeah,
and gave
Janine
us
was
updates,
there.
so.
So, and of course, I snuck up to them. I let them know the parking garage was not closed down.
How did you know that?
I thought only the upper floors of the parking garage were closed, they closed the whole
They are
thing.
supposed to be closed, but they weren't, so,
Okay.
we need to make sure they do get closed, because the way they're gonna be working, they're gonna be going from behind, so they wanna make sure people aren't up there, so.
Because, what's today's November, or tomorrow's November 1st, November 18th is the big downtown parade,
It will
so.
not affect the, they make sure.
But I would like, if it's safe, like to see the parking garage be open at least the first floor for, a lot of people come to downtown Newcastle for that holiday parade, all the township schools
That's
and
a,
bands.
not to, but I'll shoot Janine an email, make sure that, that's one of the things that the city, and even Loretta asked that
Yeah,
question,
very-
and Janine
yes.
said that there will be, it won't affect anything with the parade, that you won't hurt with parking, but I'll make sure, make sure that at least first or second, that we want the top area closed, just because.
Right, oh, absolutely. November 18th, yeah, the St. Mary's Church, they have their big Christmas fest that day, and then there's activities throughout the day downtown and the parade in the afternoon, so it's gonna be a busy day downtown.
Every day.
Are there any other comments regarding proposed resolution 411?
Sorry, we're not trying to answer that.
No, this was all tied in.
Do we have the motion?
We need a motion,
We need
please.
I'll move for the adoption of resolution 2023-411.
I will second.
Thank you both. Further final comments or concerns? Hearing none, we'll do a roll call, please.
Commissioner Steelvogel?
Yes.
Commissioner Buick?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes,
Motion carries.
thank you. Amy, as always,
Thank you.
I believe that's all we have.
I have one
We have
Yeah.
one more.
She has one more.
more. Don't get rid of me so fast.
Oh, yes, you do have one
Sure.
more. I apologize. This would be proposed resolution 412. And I'll let you describe this proposed resolution, please.
This is a resolution that is authorizing the submission of a request for funding through the local share account, which is being ran under DCD. This will be for improvements to the Savage Bike Trail. We're looking at a request of $761,685.50. And that is, all those numbers came from Taylor Engineering, County Engineer. He's been working with our consultant Delta Development to put everything together. We had a call this morning to go over everything. There is no match requirement, so we just need the resolution. Then it would authorize Commissioner Vogler and Commissioner Spielvogel, if we are awarded, to execute all the documents, and that we just ask that Joe, as the county administrator, certify everything. And that's all we need for this application would be the resolution. Like I said, there is no match requirement.
The document here, which is just the resolution itself, has just my name.
That's how DCD had it in their guidelines for the assistant.
Okay,
Because you're the chairman, and then Joe would be
all right.
certifying it.
But it also, in the body of the resolution, it has Commissioner Spielvogel.
That's for the contract if we get the green.
I
yeah.
see.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, so this is their template.
Yep, this is their template, yeah.
I got you.
Yeah,
Okay.
it actually has called Joe the secretary of the administration, so I did kind of give you
Mr. Burek?
I'm just curious why, not on a personal front, but sometimes some things are, the
I took
chairman's on
offense,
behalf
I
of the
took
board.
offense for
Okay,
it.
well, let's do
Yes.
that to the three commissioners, why don't you ask all three commissioners the resolution?
That's how DCD does it, the only.
That's fine, we won't hear it until after I'm out of office, right? So, leave my name out of it. I bet I've used the Savage Trail more than all of
I
you.
know, I remember having his name put in over mine because you.
I'm a little sensitive to Savage Trail.
That's how all their, things, only two.
Only two.
That's fine, if all it takes to sign any police we buy two
How
signatures.
interesting is that? Yeah, I did, I noticed that right off, I'm like, oh, I was going to say, well, you forgot Commissioner Burek's name in here as well. Okay.
So this would be a complete, basically going into the bike trail from in Union Township to Mahoney, in the county only, and all the improvements that are needed.
Yes.
Helping the stormwater and drainage and maybe some new culverts, also putting some new mile markers and some benches and,
Yes.
aesthetically pleasing things to the eyes for our trail users, so.
We want to make it
Some
beautiful for
bench,
those that do
sandwich.
use it.
You know, the only thing, I don't know if it'd be possible to have a water fountain that's at any point along there. I don't know if there's any water lines along by there or not, but, I mean, most people, we take our own water
You're
bottle,
right.
but sometimes on a really hot day, you drink a water bottle and you got more, you wanna do more miles.
Yeah.
Anyway, just a thought. There's no water line nearby, obviously, it's not feasible, but if there
Might
is.
be down in the Edenburg area.
Yeah, because there's homes along there.
Yeah.
It'd be nice to have a water fountain, people could refill their water bottle when they're hiking, biking, people walk their dogs on that trail, I've seen people rollerblade on that trail. It is heavily used in the summer months.
Okay, any other comments? We need a motion, I believe.
We do.
May I have a motion for proposed resolution 412?
So moved.
Is there a second?
My name's not in it, I'm not making a second.
I wondered why you were. I'll second it. Any further discussion?
Are you gonna?
Yeah, how are you gonna vote on this?
I'm thinking about it, I'm
Go
thinking
ahead,
about it.
Vanessa, call the roll.
Commissioner Steelvogel?
Yes.
Commissioner Burek?
Reluctantly, yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Amy, thanks as always.
I hope the grant application is approved, I do. You're good at the county.
Mike
Oh,
Rico
goodness.
is with us from Children and Youth Services. Good morning, Mike, how are you?
Good morning, and Commissioner, your name is on earth.
Thank you, I am one of the three commissioners currently.
Mike has two proposed resolutions for us. The first is number
Oh,
413. This would allow us to enter into an agreement with Attorney David Gloss to provide legal services in juvenile dependency cases at a rate of $60 per hour, not to exceed $12,000 per year. The agreement would actually take effect today and run through January 31 of 2024. Mike, I'll turn it over to you if you have other details for us.
You're all aware our solicitor is resigning, so David worked with us last year, so he's very familiar with our operation. And he agreed to come back for a short-term, temporary term for 3 months until we could find a full-time solicitor. So, that's a good thing. He's been involved with us, so he knows what he's doing.
Thank you, sir. I'll see if Commissioner Spielvogel has any questions.
No.
Okay, thank you. Commissioner Burek?
No questions, just we need to have somebody to step in the interim until we hire a new full-time solicitor for CYS, so I think this is a good move to help. There's a lot of legal issues that need addressed in the meantime, so this covers this.
Yes.
May I then have a motion for proposed resolution 413?
So moved.
Second.
Any further comments or discussion? Hearing none, we'll do a roll call, please.
Commissioner Steelvogel?
Yes.
Commissioner Burek?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thanks, Vanessa. Next item, Mike, you're bringing forward a contract with, a proposed contract with an organization known as City Mission Livingstones, Inc. of Uniontown, PA. So I just do want to clarify, this is not the City Rescue Mission down on Croton Avenue.
No.
Okay, so I'll let you fill us in on this, please.
This is a group home, it's a renewal. Basically, up until 10 minutes before I got here, we were gonna place a child there, and they found another place. So this place is gonna be a backup. Initially, this was the only one that was willing to accept the child, so we needed it done. But now, since the child's placed somewhere else, this is gonna be used as a backup. And I think we only had one child. Right, currently, they have no children there now, but we did have one last year. So we don't use them that often, but we use them for backup.
Thank you for that, Mike. Commissioner Burek, do you have questions?
No, but just note that when we enter all these contracts, all these agencies, we only incur expenses if we actually place a child there. But this is a contingency plan if the other placement doesn't work out for any reason. So just wanted to note that, but thank you.
Commissioner Spielvogel?
Nothing, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Well, Mike, appreciate you bringing this to us. I'll ask for a motion then for this resolution.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you both. If there are no other questions or concerns, I'll ask for a roll call, please.
Commissioner Spielvogel?
Yes.
Commissioner Buick?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes,
Motion carries.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank
Mike.
you.
Take care.
All right, see ya. See you probably next week, or 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
That's right. Thank you, sir. Let me ask, after we do this next resolution, number 415, would you folks be willing to jump ahead to the ordinance so that Jerry and John can get some other things done? I don't want to keep them waiting
I don't want to hear about all the budget transfers we need to do, pay the bills to.
But are you both okay?
Yes.
Yes.
After this next one? Okay, I
Absolutely.
appreciate that. Thank you. The next proposed resolution, 415. You may recall that back in July, we had a very localized, heavy downpour of rain in both Shenango Township and Lane Township. Did cause significant damage. A few weeks ago, we allocated liquid fuel dollars to both of those municipalities to assist with the damage that had been caused to their road network. Now, separate from that, Shenango Township sent a second request pertaining to the Snake Run Road Bridge, which is a township-owned bridge. It, again, suffered very severe damage from that storm, from the floods that resulted from that storm. Their engineering firm has inspected the bridge. It has been rated as being structurally deficient, and they are estimating, they being RAR Engineering, is estimating that the replacement of the bridge will come in at between $500,000 and $600,000. The township has asked us to assist, and we've discussed this. And again, we've already helped them with the roads. We've already helped Lane Township with their roads, but this is separate. And what this proposed resolution would do is it would take $200,000 from the appropriate liquid fuel account to assist Shenango Township with their repair of this, repair and possibly even replacement of this bridge. Let me see if Commissioner Spielvogel has anything to add.
No.
Thank you, Mr. Burek.
No questions, just note, I think this is the bridge at the intersection with Union Valley Road in Shenango Township.
Right, correct. So we're pleased to be able to help them. I realize this doesn't cover the entire cost, but it does provide at least a third, hopefully, if not more.
Depending on the actual cost.
Exactly. So we're pleased to be able to help our friends in Shenango Township. May I have a motion then for this resolution number 415?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you both. Any other concerns or questions?
No.
Thank you. We'll do a roll call, please.
Commissioner Spielvogel?
Yes.
Commissioner Buick?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you, Vanessa. Thanks to both of my colleagues. We're going to jump down, all the way down to ordinances. And we have Jerry Zona and John Coolness with us from the County's Recycling and Solid Waste Department. Gentlemen, if you'd like to come up, please. They've been here the last couple meetings to discuss proposed ordinance number 2, which is the municipal waste management ordinance. They provided extensive details to us about this, and the rules governing an ordinance require that it be introduced and then tabled for a period of time to allow people the opportunity to look it over. The one thing and maybe you guys can help me with this, or Joe or Vanessa, were we required to put a legal ad in the paper?
Yeah.
We did.
And that did appear in the paper? Okay, that part was covered then. Okay, thank you. Gentlemen, we're almost ready to consider it, but let me see if either of you have anything else to offer.
No, the legal ad ran on October 18th, right after the meeting a couple weeks ago. We have not received any comments regarding the ordinance. It was available out of your office as well as the law library.
Jerry, it sat on our counter as well, like you said, and we haven't had anybody come in and look at it, so just so you know.
I would like to say one thing.
Yes, sir, John.
Thank you so much for getting this through. It's been 4 years we've been working on this.
And a lot of time.
It took you so long.
Making sure all the
That's
things are
right,
followed,
very,
as
thank
regarded,
you, that's
and,
it, we
you know,
rely on your expertise, let me tell you.
and things were changing at the state level, so we wanted to try and make sure that we had something that was up to speed with
Absolutely.
all the latest directives.
Nice to get it through.
Good. We
Yes.
appreciate, as Loretta said, we appreciate
Absolutely,
your efforts.
yes,
Loretta, do you have other questions for these gentlemen?
just great job, as always, you know, when you come in, we trust that you've done your due diligence, like you said, the I's crossed the T's, and always happy to work with you to move things forward, yes. Thank you.
Thank you, and Mr. Burek?
Just one comment, one quick question. Thank you both for all the work you put into this. I read it through. It's an extensive document. So we appreciate that. The question is, once it's passed, will a copy of that be sent to all of the solid waste providers in the county, the companies that provide roll-offs and companies that have the various contracts?
We'll provide copies to all of those businesses, as well as deliver the ordinance to all of the district justices as well. So they've got the most recent copy. We did this the last time.
Very good.
Excellent.
Even though the company should take the initiative, we should also be proactive and send them copies of it and say, hey, beware of our updated ordinance. Thank you.
And we'll have it, we can post it on the website as well,
Yes.
since it's a brand new
Great
one.
idea.
As we talked at the last meeting, the last time, because our current ordinance was passed in 1991, so it's a very, very ancient document.
You mentioned the district judges. Should the court administrator's office receive a copy as well?
We can send one to
Unless my colleagues would object, I just think as a courtesy.
Absolutely.
Okay. Other questions or concerns?
Jerry,
Yes.
since you're sending it upstairs, if you don't mind, sending a finalized copy to Joellen at the law library, because it was also on display for their office, for her office.
Thank you, my name's.
Thank you.
And I'm gonna add to your list, unless my colleagues would object, as a courtesy, and maybe you're already gonna do this, should the conservation district have a copy of this, just as a courtesy?
It probably won't hurt.
Okay, if you wouldn't mind, or if you folks don't object.
Absolutely,
Okay,
Great suggestion.
okay, thank you.
right,
What we have to do, this proposed ordinance has been on the table, so I'll need a motion to take it off the table to allow us to consider it. So may I have a motion to remove from the table a proposed ordinance number 2 of 2023?
Second.
Thank you both. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Steelvogel?
yes,
Commissioner Buick?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes.
Motion carries.
And now we can consider for final action proposed ordinance number 2 of 2023, the municipal waste management ordinance. And if one of you are so willing, I can take a motion to consider it.
I so move for adoption.
I will second.
Thank you both. Final concerns or questions, Mr. Burek?
None.
Thank you. Commissioner Steelvogel,
Yeah.
anything? Okay. Gentlemen, anything else before we vote?
Thank you.
Thank you. We'll take a vote. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Spielvogel?
Yes.
Commissioner Buick?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes,
Motion carries.
thank you, Vanessa. Gentlemen, thank you both.
Thank
All your
you.
hard
We
work.
appreciate it.
We
Thank you.
appreciate
We
your
appreciate you.
patience.
Thank
We
you.
appreciate your support. Yeah.
And now wait, I gotta think of something else to appreciate from you. We appreciate your support. Have a great day.
Take care.
Thank you, guys.
I think everyone upstairs, yes.
Thank you both for your willingness to move that forward, and to change the agenda a little bit. We'll go back
No
to
worries.
proposed resolution 416. We have the authority and responsibility to appoint members to the Workforce Investment Board, which falls under the jurisdiction of West Central Job Partnership, and the three of us, along with the Mercer County Commissioners, serve as the governing board of that organization. We currently have a vacancy on the Workforce Investment Board. Our friend Frank Tellez Jr. had served for many years on that board, but he recently retired from his position from IBEW, the Electrical Workers Union. The federal guidelines state that there must be at least 2 representatives from labor organizations on this board. So West Central has proposed to us to replace Mr. Tellez, that we consider Mr. Jeffrey Mandillo, who is the Assistant Training Director at the Western Central Pennsylvania Electricians Training Center, located in Neshannock Township. So what we would be doing here is appointing Mr. Mandillo to fill the unexpired term of our friend Frank Tellez. Discussion or concerns before I ask for a motion?
No.
May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you both. Brian, anything else?
Just wish Mr. Tellez a long and healthy and happy retirement.
Ditto. I will do that, yes.
And Frank is still, thankfully, he is still a member of our planning commission and our redevelopment authority. I hope, and I say this a little bit selfishly, but truly I hope he stays on both
Yes.
those boards. He's a strong member of both of those boards. So we have a motion and a second. We'll do a roll call, please, for Mr. Mandillo.
Commissioner Spielvogel?
Yes.
Commissioner Buick?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes?
Motion carries.
Thank you. Next resolution, 417, our friend Janet Filatico and Jenny Jacob, I think they'll be pleased to see this one.
Yes.
This involves the county's hotel tax. And I'll note Commissioner Spielvogel sits on the board of Visit Lawrence County, which is our tourist promotion agency. We're doing a budget amendment because the good news is, if I'm reading this correctly, is that the hotel tax that is collected actually brought in precisely $78,000 above budget. And we will be noting that change in the revenue line item. And then the corresponding change will be noted in the expense line item, which means that the Visit Lawrence County organization will receive those funds. You're on that board. Do you have anything you wish to add?
Just to say that it's good to know that the hotel tax is increasing. That means that people are visiting, they're coming in, they're staying, there's action happening, so that's always good news. And I know that the agency will certainly put that money to good use.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Loretta. Commissioner Burek, any comments?
Just glad to hear this. I'm sure you feel the same way, but both Janet Filatico and Jenny Jacob at Visit Lawrence County are both wonderful ambassadors for the county. They're great to work with. Very happy to hear that the additional revenues coming in that could support the activities to promote tourism in Lawrence County.
I agree with both of you. Thank you. May I have a motion then for proposed resolution 417?
So moved.
Second.
Any further comments? Hearing none, we'll do a roll call, please.
Commissioner Spielvogel?
Yes.
Commissioner Buick?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you, Vanessa.
Mhm.
The next budget amendment involves the following. We are transferring from DEA-TFO, that falls under the jurisdiction of the district attorney, but can someone help me refresh my memory? It involves drug enforcement, I believe. But
Task force overtime.
Thank you very much.
Okay, it took me, is that it?
Drug and
Yeah.
yes, task force overtime.
Amazing.
Thank you, Loretta.
It just, there's some of the initials, I guess.
What we're doing is taking from the general revenue fund account $10,000, and then that, if I'm reading this correctly, goes into the DA's overtime general expense account. I hope I'm reading this correctly. Correct me if I'm wrong. And then also $9,000 is being taken from the DEA TFO revenue account into the general fund DEA TFO expense account. Are we all on the same page on this? Okay. This would be proposed resolution 418. Could I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you both. Questions or concerns? Loretta?
No.
Brian?
No.
Thank you. We'll do a roll call, please.
Commissioner Spielvogel?
Yes.
Commissioner Buick?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Proposed resolution 419. Again, we are doing a budget amendment here, and this involves the Victim Services Fund. And we're doing as follows here. $6,041 is coming from the prior year balance revenue fund account. Please correct me if I'm wrong, I believe they're taking that amount and then applying it to the following line items: employee insurance and benefits, victim services expense fund account, the FICA expense fund account, the workers' comp expense fund account, and then transfer to the general fund victim services expense fund account by $1,700. That should all equal out, if I'm not mistaken.
It does.
Thank you. Did you do the quick math? Thank you very much for that. I appreciate it. So that's proposed resolution 419. Would someone wish to make a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you both. Again, this is the Victim Witness Program account. Loretta, do you have any concerns?
No.
Mr. Burek?
No.
Thank you again for confirming those numbers. We'll do a roll call, please.
Commissioner Spielvogel?
Yes.
Commissioner Buick?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you very much. Next, proposed resolution 420 involves mental health and developmental services. It's a budget amendment. Taking the, I believe, and Joe, the community and behavioral revenue fund account,
Yes.
COMN is community,
Yes.
thank you. That amount is $69,542. They are applying it to the mental health community participation MHDS expense fund account. That amount is $24,542, and then the remaining $45,000 goes towards the housing support MHDS expense fund account. So again, those numbers should equal out, which I believe they do. Questions or concerns from either Brian or Loretta?
No.
Thank you both. Would someone care to make a motion for this?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. We'll do a roll call, please.
Commissioner Spielvogel?
Yes.
Commissioner Buick?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Proposed resolution 421, again, a budget amendment. The parenting grant received an additional $925. That's noted in their revenue fund account, and then what we're doing is noting that amount, same amount, 925, we're putting that towards the parenting grant general expense fund account so that that balances out. Any questions or concerns?
Which department is this under?
Would it be MHDS, do you believe, or would it be CYS?
I believe this is CYS.
Okay.
It's not listed, so that's all.
Do one of two things. We can approve it if you want to table it, we have 2 weeks to.
No, I could go look up in the budget units with that.
Okay.
I was just curious.
Okay.
I would just prefer in the future resolutions like this actually list, like I assume 2 back is under the victim services, that's under the court administration. I would just prefer if the department that oversees that grant was listed on these resolutions.
Yeah, I would agree with your suggestion or your request.
But no, I'm fine.
Okay.
Do we have a motion yet?
May I have a motion?
I'll move for the adoption of resolution 421.
I will second.
Thank you both. Other questions or concerns?
No.
Do a roll call, please.
Commissioner Spielvogel?
Yes.
Commissioner Buick?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes,
Motion carries.
thank you.
And just to let you guys know, those do come directly from Dave, the controller. So, I mean, it is legit, but
Oh, yeah.
No, I know, I just wondered what
just so
department
you know,
receives that. So
yeah, I'll ask him to maybe
Makes
make
sense.
that note in the future for
Thank
each
you.
department.
The next proposed resolution, 422, looks as though we received an unanticipated additional amount from the Marcellus legacy revenues in the amount of $32,000, and we are applying that to the Marcellus Legacy Expense Fund account line item. Any questions on this proposed resolution? If not, I could take a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Comments or discussion? If not, we'll do a roll call.
Commissioner Spielvogel?
Yes.
Commissioner Buick?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes,
Motion carries.
thank you. Proposed resolution 423. Oh, here we go. Or two separate pages. This is a transfer that would take $15,000 from the jail's part-time line item and transfer it to the court-appointed attorney's line item. This is proposed resolution 423. Are there any questions or concerns?
Just a comment that, since we're going through so many of these, it's end of year. Everyone's budgets are being adjusted as needed to be, and even because of the different trials that we've had, the murder trials and the expert witnesses that have been needed, those expenses from the courts have increased for this year. So that is, it's something that you can't account for. You don't know what those costs are going to be. So having to move the money to different line items does happen.
Absolutely correct.
Yeah.
Thank you for noting that.
Right.
Other concerns or questions? If not, I would entertain a motion for proposed resolution, bear with me, here it is, 423.
Right.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you both.
Mhm.
There are no other questions, we'll do a roll call.
Commissioner Spielvogel?
Yes.
Commissioner Buick?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes,
Motion carries.
thank you. And as we always do, I'll start these transfers. Stop me if you have a question. And then if you're willing at the end, we can either take them all as one vote, or we can divvy them out if you need to. So, but please, I start going too fast, just stop. The first transfer request is in the amount of $1,041. It's coming from the commissioner's contingency. Of that, $163.80 is going towards cable, and $878 is going towards materials and supplies. The next request involves liquid fuels, and that amount is, it's coming from the liquid fuels contingency line item. The amount is $74,708.37, and it's going into the liquid fuels line item itself. And it says there was an invoice we received or from Hickory Township for some liquid fuel money that we must have allocated to them at some point.
That's correct.
I'm sorry?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, thank you. Next request comes from Judge Nicholson's office. It's a $50 transfer coming from their contingency into that of equipment and maintenance. That's a $50 request. The coroner's office is asking for a $1,200 transfer from their contingency into that of their vehicle expenses. The information technology office is asking for a $4,164 transfer. Of that, $3,164 is going into the software account, and the remaining 1,000 is coming from maintenance repairs going into their software line item. And they've noted here that we're seeing this more and more. Prices have increased from the original budget request. Mental Health and Developmental Services is asking for a total transfer of $13,500. It's all coming from their contingency. 2,500 of that will go towards travel and training, and 11,000 will go towards cost allocation. Actually, then that concludes the transfer requests. Do either of you have any questions about any of them?
I move for the approval of the administrative transfers as noted.
I will second.
I thank you both. Any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll do a roll call, please.
Commissioner Spielvogel?
Yes.
Commissioner Buick?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes,
Motion carries.
thank you so much. We have some announcements. We will note that the commissioners do not meet next Tuesday, but the courthouse is open. It's been a tradition that on election day, the Board of Commissioners does not meet, but the building will be open. So we will meet 2 weeks from today on Tuesday, November 14th at 10 a.m. in this room. It is open to the public. Commissioner Burek chairs the election board along with Attorney Jack Seltzer and Frank Carey. And that board is holding a special meeting on Monday, November 6th at 10 a.m. in this room, and that is open to the public. Anything else you wish to add about that? Okay, thank you. The County Planning Commission will meet in public on Wednesday, November 8th at 12 noon at the Shenango Township Municipal Building on Willowbrook Road, if I'm not mistaken. And that is also open to the public. Let me open the floor for public comments or questions. Debbie, you're our public. And incidentally, Debbie, I'm going to give you my packet. We have last week's upstairs as well if you need it.
Okay, I have a quick question
please.
about the jail contract.
Mhm.
How many are in the jail right now that are juvenile offenders charged as adults?
To the best of my knowledge, two.
Just two?
Yes.
So how many will you be getting from Beaver?
We don't know if there are any that are coming. This is almost like a preemptive contract, if there would be a need. If I do hear that there is a number available, I will let you know.
Okay, well, thank you, Debbie. Closing comments from my.
I'm sorry, one
Yeah.
more question.
Yeah.
What's the total amount the county got this year for the hotel tax?
Stumped right now.
Joe, I know.
Okay.
Okay, we can get you that answer. Obviously, it's more than we.
Dave pressed the
Oh, okay. Dave would know.
Thank you.
Obviously, by what we actually took today, we got more than we expected. That, as Loretta said, that's a good sign, because it means more people are staying here. And that means more revenue, so. But,
Yes.
yeah, Dave, if Dave can't help you, and I'm sure he can, just let us know. Do you have closing comments, Mr. Burek?
Yeah, I was gonna wait and announce this at the election board meeting next week, but let me state it now. The county election board and election staff put the required legal notice in the paper regarding the polling places for the general election on November 7th. Unfortunately, there was a mistake in there regarding the Shannon Township 3rd precinct. The legal ad stated it would be at the First Baptist Church on Maitland Lane, but the correct polling place for the Shannon Precinct 3 is the First Alliance Church on Mission Mead Drive. And I checked with the solicitor, the director of elections. What we're gonna do is we're gonna put pay for a new correction ad in the paper. To note that, we're also going to have First Baptist Church put a sign on the door stating that the polling location for Shannon 3 is now at First Alliance Church. But I just wanted to acknowledge that a mistake was made, unfortunately. We had changed 2 other polling places, the Shannon 7 and 8, due to the renovations at the Hutchinson Center, but it slipped through for the Shannon 3. But like I said, we are addressing it with a new legal ad will be going in the paper this week. A notice will be posted on the incorrect location, and I just wanted to note that, other than that, the polling places as listed in the legal ad are correct.
What was the incorrect location again?
It listed First Baptist Church on Maitland Lane, when now the correct polling location for Shannon 3 for election day is First Alliance Church on Mission Beach Drive. So it's an unfortunate error.
A separate article into on that.
We'll pay for the ad, but if you could let that know, like I said, we will also put a sign on the door of First Baptist in case anybody inadvertently goes to the old polling place. It'll say that if you're here to vote for Neshannock 3, Precinct 3, please go to the new polling location. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for allowing me to announce that.
Absolutely.
Other than that, our staff's busy at work, and we're looking forward to a successful election next Tuesday.
Thank you. Anything else?
Thank you.
All righty, thank you. Commissioner Spielvogel.
Nothing, thank you.
All righty. Well, as we always do, Joe and Vanessa, anything we may have overlooked? Debbie, any last concerns?
I just want to say that, our paper had never been contacted, and I had not been contacted personally about the accreditation ceremony last week, so we totally missed it. I had no idea. And I'm up in the courts almost every day, no one mentioned it, so if we weren't there and we were looked on badly because of that, that's why.
I was told that you can find it on YouTube. And I don't know where you have to search.
I'll look for it, I'm
Okay.
gonna go speak with Judge Amato about the whole ceremony.
And I was just gonna say, I'm sure somebody on his staff has pictures of him and Chief Justice Todd here. That's, to me, that's a noteworthy when they,
I'll go interview him.
yeah, the Chief Justice of the State Supreme Court was in Newcastle for a ceremony, and she's a native of Lawrence County and the first female.
I would have been there had I known, I
Right.
had no
Yes.
idea.
No, I understand.
There's a Court of Remembrance ceremony next week, I plan to attend, but I saw that in that little publication that the
Law Journal.
Bar Association puts out, so.
That's for Attorney Flannery.
Yeah, unfortunately, we weren't there, they usually let us know when those things are
Yeah,
happening,
right.
so.
I don't know who was in charge of publicity for that accreditation ceremony, but it was a beautiful and touching ceremony, and I'm sorry you weren't invited, but I don't know who in the courts was in charge of getting that word out, but.
I'll get to the bottom of that too, so that we don't miss another one.
Sure,
Right.
sure.
All righty. Well, we thank you all for being here today, and we'll be back in 2 weeks. But may I have an adjournment motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor of adjourning, please say aye. Aye, opposed, the same
Aye.
sign. Motion carries. The meeting is adjourned. Joe's gonna turn off the computer.
That has all that,
Yes.
the NHDS one.
Oh, okay.
If you notice me.